Hi everyone, welcome back to a new Mr. Organic recipe. I'm Jess Beautician and in today's video I'm sharing an artichoke, butter bean and asparagus tart. For this, first preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Then take a sheet of ready rolled puff pastry. Remove this from the fridge around 10 minutes beforehand just to allow it to adjust to room temperature so that it doesn't break or crack when rolling. And then roll that out onto a non-stick baking tray. It can be left on the paper that it's on, as this is baking paper itself. You might just need to trim the ends of the pastry and the leftover paper if it's too long for your baking tray. Next, using a sharp knife, just score a 1-inch thick border around the edge of the pastry sheet and make a little pattern in it if you like for decoration. I just did some diagonal lines. Then mix together a small amount of plant milk with some olive oil and just brush that over the border. Place your puff pastry base in the oven and allow that to bake for around 25 minutes until it's nicely golden and flaky. Meanwhile, prep the filling. For this, take 125 grams of asparagus stalks and just bend them at the ends. They will naturally break off where they're meant to, and that woody tip isn't meant to be eaten, so those can be composted. Next, take a large leek and trim the ends. Then just peel off the 2 outer layers and give it a good wash afterwards. Then slice the leek up into 1-inch thick rings. Warm a tablespoon of Mr. Organic's extra virgin olive oil in a large griddle pan on a medium heat, and then brush it over evenly using a pastry brush. Place in the asparagus first and allow it to cook on one side for a couple of minutes before turning it over onto the other side. Then, using a spatula or slice, press the asparagus down into the pan until it develops a char-grilled effect. Once they have a nice colour to them, remove them from the pan and then add in the leek slices. Again, allow these to cook on one side and then turn them over onto the other side. They should have these nicely charred lines grilled into them. Make the artichoke and butter bean spread next by taking a can of Mr. Organic's organic butter beans. These count as one of your 5 a day and are naturally high in fibre and protein. Drain the water from the can of butter beans and give them a good shake. Then place them into a food processor. Next, take a jar of Mr. Organic's organic Italian grilled artichokes with herbs and spices and oil. These are in artichoke quarters, so place 6 of the quarters into the food processor bowl, and then also add in 1 tablespoon of the herb oil that they're in. Add in 1 tablespoon of garlic puree or 2 minced garlic cloves. Then grate in the zest of half an unwaxed lemon. Add in a good 2 tablespoons of Mr. Organic's organic Sicilian lemon juice. Then a good pinch of sea salt and crack in a good amount of black pepper. Blend that up into a nice puree until it's smooth and creamy. It should take a couple of minutes and you may just want to run a spatula around the bowl halfway through to make sure it's all well combined. Next, remove the puff pastry from the oven and just press the centre down using the back of a spoon. It should break in easily, leaving the border around the edge. Take the artichoke and butter bean spread and add it on, and then using a knife, just spread it out evenly across the base of the pastry. Next, take the grilled leeks and arrange those over the top, along with the char-grilled asparagus. Scatter over 1/4 cup of cooked peas next. Then add on a handful of fresh rocket leaves and some mint leaves. Squeeze over a little more lemon juice and add on some toasted pine nuts just to finish it off. This artichoke, butter bean and asparagus tart serves 2 to 4 people and would make a great vegan showstopper in the centre of a table for a spring lunch or dinner. The pastry is light and flaky. The artichoke and butterbean puree as a base is so creamy and delicious. It adds a subtle flavour with the herbs from the artichoke, the garlic and the lemon, which works so nicely with the grilled green vegetables, the fiery rocket leaves and the fragrant mint. It works really well served up with some sea salt roasted Hasselback baby potatoes on the side, or you could serve it with a nice fresh salad. You could also change up the vegetables you add on the top as well. Some roasted or grilled courgette, tender stem broccoli or green beans would all work so nicely on this if you wanted to make it slightly differently.